After some decent weather for the first match of the round here at Magic Ground at Kellyville Park, the rain is set in, the cold is blowing, and it's starting to get dark. The hoodies are up. Players are in the tunnel, as are the coaches and the trainers, and things are about to get wet and wild for the fight for the minor premiership. You've got the Concord Burwood Wolves up against the Cabramatta 2 Blues. They've been trading blows all season along with the Hills Bulls, but today someone takes out first spot, someone gets a vital rest, and joined here by Greg Hayes. How you doing, mate?
Really well, and looking forward to what should be a fantastic game. Earlier in the season, these two sides were due to clash, but the game was a forfeit. So really looking forward to what should be a stunning game this afternoon. Let's hope the weather doesn't have too much involvement in the game this afternoon.
Well, a big part of that played out is injuries, and that's a case again today. We've had some late scratchings. We'll run you through those lineups for the Concord Burwood Wolves. Jersey 2, Luca Raich. The 3 is Noah Iongi. 4, Levi Henderson. 5, Livy Mayer. 6, Darby Fotheringham. 9, Jay Kilby. 10, Sioela Iongi. 11 is Cookie Mafu. 12, Elijah El Khoury. 13, Sebastian Chidiac. 14, Andre Richmond. 19, Kane Kutu. And the 28, On Fire Florian. 22, Jaden Kepper. And in 99, we've got Finn. But for Cabramatta, a couple of scratchings as well. But in the 1, Elijah Al-Hazim. 2 is Seth Surveyor. 3, Vaya Akawola. 4, Josiah Epart. 17, Jaden Tapuwai. 20, Jaira Fanene. 9, Denny Abu Hamid. 8, Michael Helu. 10, Winston Tahi. 11, Lola Manaya Otawata. 13, Hino Deshima Teapa. 14, Brennan Rota Wallace. And 15 is Kingston Ma Chong. No bench for them today, with Fretton out, Motaliki and Retrick Smith-Jessup. And on the flip side, top try scorer in this comp, Newman Ratcliffe, out for the Wolves. Their half-pack, Mateo Rapina Dunn, Isaac Gazawi, Peter Boom-Mellum, and multiple others. It is an absolute nightmare in terms of health, but someone is going to be our minor premier. Let's get it underway here. Steny Abu Hamid drives deep, and it drops in hard to Kilby, but off the back fences, Sioela Iongi, and good contact first up. And the battle of the packs today will be outstanding. But the loss of their halves may prove crucial on the Cabramatta side, as Mafu, usually with the headgear, that's gone today. Finals time, the helmets come off. Now Kepper tries to roll his way forward. Ball across, Chidiac fights his way to halfway in what's been a positive first set. Trying to fight his way up as things only get wetter and heavier after it's had 2 games on here already. And Fotheringham, good tactics first up with a long kick. Oh, and that one just holds up, and a fantastic result there, and a great first set by the Wolves.
What a start to the game by Concord. They got on the front foot, a couple of really strong runs from some of their forwards, and then really good, strong kick chase. And they were able to lock down that kick, and then they're going to win themselves a dropout. So a big chance here for Concord earlier on in the game.
And they need all that and more from Fotheringham today without his halves partnering, but you can see why he played Harold Matts year young. And Abu Hamid here goes short to Mafu, who picks it up with a lot of momentum, and it's a good carry in near the line straight away. Inside the 10. Kutu goes to dummy half, gets out himself and tries to find a crease, but he's dragged backwards by Tahi. And now Raich. Good service, goes across, and Iongi leaves without the football in these tough conditions, and a turnover with a golden opportunity.
It's going to be important for Cabramatta to really weather the storm in the early stages, because it will come back to bite them late in the game with that only the bare 13 players out on the field today.
100%, and that defensive effort and error early on certainly helps, and any stoppages they can get will be of benefit, as Tapuwai trying to help out of yardage now. Gets into the 30 as the rain continues to come in sideways. Now centre field, they get numbers in, trying to fight for to play the ball there. Al-Hazim, Fanene goes early off the boot. Noah Iongi picks up on the run. He's played at 5'8", he's played at centre and back to fullback today with the injuries and changes they've got, but it's been great this season. Now Kutu short side, good contact there. Hit hard. At halfway here, Mafu tries to help clean the ruck. And now back in. Levi Henderson also. A headgear a week ago. It's gone. It's finals time. Him and Mafu both ditching. The headgear is Kepper. over the advantage line. Playing to the conditions. Fotheringham, ball across. Things move nicely for El Khoury and play 5 here. Can they hang one up in the tough conditions and try and get a chase? Fotheringham crossfield. Coming there for Richmond. Knocked back off the ball. And knock on call. Cabramatta will get the football back.
It is absolutely bucketing down. The rain has got a lot heavier. We got through the first game with no rain. But all of a sudden the conditions, so it was raining when this game started, but it is really throwing down at the moment.
Just when we thought you had to worry about possession, field position and errors in the first game, all the more important now in this second one with the rain.
Let's hope Cabramatta can hang on to the ball in this set of 6.
Al Hazim comes in to help out as he always does. Good in yardage for the Cabramatta team. Rhoda Wallace awaiting to play the ball. And now some footwork and into contact. Strong here, driving backwards in the rain. The Wolves really trying to turn the screws with their defence. Play the ball. Eventually coming there from Seth Surveyor. Now Centrefield again, numbers in. And potentially an injury here.
Oh, this could really hurt. What are we in? 5 minutes in.
5 minutes, no interchange, and it looks like the back rower, Lolo Manai Otawata from the jersey, which is scrunched up at the moment. Couldn't quite pick up what happened there, but looked like he reached for his face, so maybe some incidental contact, but it would be an absolutely crucial blow to go straight down to 12 so early in this one.
They look pretty passive, the Cabramatta side in the early stages, just letting the game unfold in front of them, and it's been really the Concord side that have been controlling the speed and the flow of the game. So this chance just to take some time off the clock and slow it down might help Cabramatta, but looks as though he's going to come to the sideline. I'd be hoping that he wouldn't be leaving the field for too long if that's the case.
Yeah, and that would be critical if that is the case, but checked on by the trainers. Otawata, I hope he's okay. Out to the wing maybe at the moment. Get the check on by the trainer. And we'll wait here, play on.
He's got to play it.
He was the one with the football. So touch judge and referee letting him know that if he's going to be staying on the field. Everyone assume positions and back underway we go. Rhoda Wallace across Abu Hamid, who's been doing a good job since he's had to move into the halves for the changes they've had. And now Helu crashes in and Abu Hamid left foot for space. Does the smart thing considering the troops today. Tries to buy his team a little bit of time to get a breathe.
Really smart play by Danny. We've said it already, they're down on troops. They just have to make sure they control this clock well, and that's exactly what they're looking to do. They got lucky there with a stoppage in play due to injury, but it's smart. Kick over the top, fine touch, and give your big forwards a chance to catch their breath.
And even if it is 10-15 seconds with our rules these days where the scrum doesn't get packed from a touch finder, it all helps when you've got nobody. First up, play the ball, Kepper, another early touch for him, and now Livy Mayer. Second leading try scorer behind his teammate who's out today, Jaden Newman-Ratcliffe. Top 2 scorers in this competition, and Henderson. The hair's unleashed from the headgear today and it's flowing. Young player for the Balmain Tigers in Harold Matz. And El Khoury follows up. Always tough and getting through plenty of work for his team along with Chidiak. And now Rach to that man, Chidiak, who goes to Kepper for a double up in this set. Finds an offload for Rach. Burst through the first, now a second, trying to get his way upfield. Play 5 now, just across halfway. Centre field, they go to Fotheringham. Hangs this one up and potentially a contest coming. It bounces. No one's on that one, but eventually cleaned up. And now a penalty. Trying to get the quick tap there. And not being bought by the referee in what looked like a beehive with everyone bunched together, but Abu Hamid, a touch finder and another good breather.
Yeah, Levi Henderson, good run, good strong run for Concord during that set. Bit of a nothing kick. Didn't really put too much pressure on the backs, the back 3 for Cabramatta. Chance now for them to set up and see if they can get the ball into the attacking half.
And crucial today what the middles do. Helu, Tahi, Tayapa, who have all been outstanding, but then a crucial error comes just short of halfway, and a golden opportunity dished up here to the Wolves with a scrum here. We'll see where they choose to take it from, but some of their set plays and shifts that we've seen throughout this season in the match of the rounds have been outstanding.
And this is where it comes down to the weather. Obviously, wet conditions, got to hold the ball when you get to your feet, and just not respecting the ball. Ball goes down, and a big turnover in possession.
Tahi, always a great contributor. Sure, he'll be looking to make up for that one, but long left side shift here from the right scrum line. They go across, and Kilby goes to Cookie Mafu. And always a handful, pushes away from the first and a second. Finds his front inside the 40. Rach, they read that he's trying to get over the line there. Good marker pressure coming in from Marchong. It's Siole Iongi. Lays a line centre field, and now Rach comes across to Chidiac. Good with the ball in hand, strong carry, but mixes up his game well with the run pass. Put on his back this time. Rach comes to Fotheringham and across to Henderson, trying to skip outside FRT and gets himself in between defenders. Brought down, 5 out now, a couple of metres in from touch. Fotheringham fires back infield for El Khoury. Long left side shift set up here on play 5 if they want it. Kilby's calling the football. Ball comes across Chidiac, it goes to Kilby. Long one across here to Kutu, who leaves without the football. And an opportunity on play 5 in these conditions. Can't blame them for going for it, but unfortunately Kutu unable to handle.
On a dry day, you can just about chalk that up for 4 points. They had the numbers on the outside, and the pass looked as though it was going to be okay, but just with the conditions, rain falling, wet football, ball goes to ground.
Both edges dangerous so far. Mafu with his few touches, and Henderson certainly up for the occasion here. This week off could be crucial for both sides. As we said, multiple scratchings today. It's a ruthless age group in terms of injury. Now off the back fence, trying to get themselves out of yardage here. Tapuai follows up the work of Surveyor. Now Abu Hamid comes across to FRT and wins his side a penalty. Well deserved. And again, he's been strong all season, has Josiah FRT.
So I let him know too. When he got to his feet, he was quick on the mouth and let the opposition know that he'd won himself a penalty.
Now Helu wants to get things going quickly. Gets himself over the top of one. Now with Tayapa, always busy, always strong. Has found the try line multiple times in matches of the round as Rhoda Wallace goes to the left. Abu Hamid, who hits short. Runner in line with him there, and Helu, that one just on the hip, and another error moving into good ball. May come back to hurt Cabra.
Trying to play dry weather football, just not the conditions to be to be passing those flat passes, and unfortunately another mistake by Cabramatta, and Concord now a big chance to set up and try and score some points in this game.
Long left side again they go from the scrum, and Kilby to Mafu, who's always a good first up option, but dangerous. They're trying to go in low and across the legs. Was the defender there? That's a situation that could find you in some trouble. And the ball comes free. And big defence in return from that man, Tayapa. And they're responding kind off the back of their own 2 errors, heading into good ball. They now get the football on halfway.
Cabramatta needed something from the defence. Their attacks hasn't been on song just yet, but their defence is really lining up. And again, really strong off the line, very quick, good line speed. They're able to get up and put some pressure on, turn that ball over. And another chance now for Cabramatta to go onto the attack.
Tayapa in the Eels development system, and no doubt will be a contender for Harold Matthews at the end of the year, but as strong in the defensive side of things as he is with his running game, as Rhoda Wallace comes to FRT, tries to take on Henderson, which will be a great matchup today. Both extremely strong with the football. Tapuai takes the short side, thinks he's got some space. In 10 plus metres, he's still going before he finds his front. Now FRT long to Abu Hamid, laid in for Michael Helu. And the track's 3 by fighting for a play the ball, and now potentially another injury to a middle. Might be grabbing at the head or neck region. The markers not happy and not one to oblige, and now a little bit of back and forth about what they've got planned for the weekend between Kepa and Helu. And the referee holding nerve here, saying she wants to play the ball, so there'll be no penalty given. Now Rhoda Wallace goes to Kingston Marchong, who spins free and almost gets out. Leaves Kepper on the ground now. Rhoda Wallace trying to get things moving with Fanene. And comes across here. And the ball almost comes out with Akawola trying to bust his way through. And now Ottawata off the left foot. And put to ground now inside the 10, just to the right of the uprights. Rhoda Wallace to Tayapa and goes for the line as he does. And Hino Tayapa comes up with a big shot to force the error. I just mentioned it before, he loves scoring in the match of the round. Nice bit of width, good power and footwork, and Tayapa draws first blood here for the Cabramatta 2 Blues in this fight for the minor premiership.
Well, you have a look at this big Cabramatta pack, and they just got on the front foot, and all of a sudden they were all putting their hands up in the middle of the ground, and Tayapa just calling for the ball and then just able to split them straight through the middle and go through and score. But some really good play earlier on in the set. Abu Hamid getting them on the front foot, going the short side, and then they came back through the middle. But good reward after looking off the speed early in this game.
And good signs after potential injuries to a couple of their middles early, able to recover and doing a fantastic job there. But some nice work, moving the football, asking questions. Couple times down this left side, then the long right side shift before Hino Tayapa does well there and does something that is very underrated for a middle forward. Start with the ball in two hands to let the line know whether you're going to run or pass, and crashes his way through. And Abu Hamid, who's been pretty good with the boot this year, he's the leading point scorer of this competition, has to thank his try scorer here for a gift of 2 more points, as it should be, from the long left footer. Got the 9 on his back, but playing half back today. And no mistake made there as he drives that one through the middle of the uprights to make it 6-0 here. And that try was brought to you by Omnia Business Solutions for all your accounting, bookkeeping, consulting and payroll needs. It is Cabramatta to throw the first punch here for the minor premiership and the potential to have that week off.
Tiopa, well named. He's Hino's first name, named after a truck and built like one too. He just straight through the defensive line. They've got a couple of really big boys, the Cabramatta side, and they're going to need to be in front because they're obviously going to tire late in the game.
Set after points critical, and off the back fence there. It's a great carry to get things started. Fighting there is Winston Tahi, trying to make an impression. Now Josiah Epart, always busy, comes in play 2, centre field, does the centre. Rhoda Wallace cross now for the try scorer in Tayapa. Near the halfway, 6 more given. Chance to continue to build and really put the blowtorch in as Ma Chong is met strongly. Chance to maybe offload there, but decides to hold as Rhoda Wallace jumps for Abu Hamid. And now Helu back against the grain to the middle of the field. Trying to put some fatigue through centre of the park now as Tayapa doubles up in the set after and leaves Kepper behind. Trying to fight for a play the ball. Now along left side, Abu Hamid. Double, triple pump nearly as he goes into the line and eventually brought to ground. 20 metres out. Tahi tries to go through the front door. Blunt force trauma set here by Cabramatta and play 5 now. Rhoda Wallace, Fanene lob back to Ottawata, backwards and play on here as the ball comes across, and now back in Akawola, finds the offload but then knocked on by Fanene as things started to get wet and wild here in a potential try, but back-to-back sets and a bit of fatigue here into the Wolves.
What about those big forwards for Cabramatta? Winston Tahi and Tiapa, they're really getting their side rolling forward through the middle. And Concord, they're just doing their job at the moment to cling on. They're trying to hold off the onslaught that has been Cabramatta for the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Great line speed on play 1 there. They get up, try to lay the wood there on Noah Iongi. And now coming back across field and absolutely hammered there and forcing an error. Cabramatta turning up the heat here as Andre Richmond found 2 of those big forwards who tried to put him through the turf and into Middle Earth. And now a chance inside the 20. He's going to lead to a great opportunity to either cash in with more points or take and apply some more fatigue to this Wolves side.
It's those men again, Tiaupa and that time Otter. They're big boys.
Now scrum feed. They go the short side. Akawala tries to get the outside there and gets past Kilby, but Kutu up for the fight, comes for a second crack. They take him down. Rhoda Wallace will centre things here with Fanene. Played year young last year for Wentworthville, who made the grand final in this competition. There's now Otawata, and now to Tayapa, and short ball for Helu running on the edge there. Brought down short of the line. Rhoda Wallace might go the crash play, does to Tahi, who handles. And late, he didn't look like he expected that one, but Mafu's onto him. And now trying to walk forward. It's a lost ball. Trying to get stuck up in the ruck there and force his side in a situation to buy a penalty. Not a great decision as that one comes free, and clearly trying to engage with the play of the ball. That set goes by the wayside. Really
strong play, really strong defence from Cookie, getting in there, making the hit, and then forcing the ball free. Got into a strange position, and then in the end just turning the ball over. So, well, they've thrown another shot across the bow of Concord, but they've been able to hold off there.
We'll see if they can navigate their way out of yardage this time. Big shot before by a couple of forwards on an outside back as Henderson tries to get things moving this time, and it's a positive start as he forces his way up to the 20. The battle between him and FRT continues as Roach, 2 pass back in field for Chidiac, and 3 there to greet him. And again, looking for width to get away from that middle. This is on fire Florian, and the ball goes down on the first carry for the young man playing up an age group today. And certainly had the right intentions as he hit the line, but these Cabramatta forwards, there again, like a brick wall, just no give.
Otto getting his shoulder right on the football as the contact happened, and that just dislodged the ball. Again, these big Cabramatta forwards stamping themselves on this game, and a big chance here for them to double the lead.
And magic round here at Kellyville Park for the under-16 ones, Parramatta Eels Junior Rugby League competition. Matches of the round will still be going heading into the final series, which kicks off next week, and you're watching right now with Lewis Shepherd and Greg Hayes as we call the battle for the minor premiership. And Cabramatta 2 Blues early in this one, 6-0 with 9.5 minutes remaining in the first half, with a chance here just outside the 20. They go across to Tapuwai, who tries to find FRT with space and draw and pass and into the corner. 13 or not, they cash in again, and fantastic from the scrum. Centre field, see a number there, go to Tapuwai, who does a good job to get the winger to bite in along with the centre and catch pass and into the corner. They take advantage. It is 10-0 here to the Cabramatta 2 Blues.
Well, it was pretty simple. They had their numbers right, Concord. They'd set up well at the scrum base, and they defensively looked to have Cabramatta done for numbers, but in the end, really good run. Finds FRT on the outside, and gee, he's got some speed to burn. Didn't have a lot of defence to beat, but looks as though when he gets out in the open, he can run. So very important points scored as we push towards, 8 minutes to go in this first half.
FRT from the football factory that is Westfield's Sports High, and he's another one in the development system for Parramatta, but a good running battle early up against Henderson in that centre matchup. But Jaden Tapuwai, fantastic piece of play from him, showing great leadership, and he is just that. He's a school captain at his school in Bonnyrigg. A great piece of play there, like you said. Numbers were man on, but when you engage with the line and you get him going backwards, just did enough to get that winger to try and bite in, and finds the outside, and now the top point scorer in our competition. And Danny Abu Hamid, you'd rather go up in sixes, and he's done that plenty this season, and even more so with the troops not existing today on the bench, is this break and this barrier with the 12 points. Taking his time here to compose himself. Distance never been an issue for the left footer, but not the preferred side as he approaches this one. And off the boot, it hits the upright, and it looked pretty good, but waved away, and that's another try also brought to you by Omnia Business Solutions for all your accounting, bookkeeping, consulting, and payroll needs. Look no further. But Cabramatta certainly got the intentions here as they lead 10-0.
Yeah, and that week off next week, so important for the winner of this game in that 5-team final setup. The side that can finish minor premier gets, they only have to win the one game to get their way through to a grand final. So big result big result in this game if you can win it.
And Fernandes set after points. Dishes back here. That's a good return from Teapa, who gets past the 20. Now the follow-up again and ducking the head. Trying to fight with 3 here. He's moving. Is Ma Chong. And out the back, that one's knocked. A play on for FRT. You see the short footsteps there on what is getting heavier and heavier this ground. Downpour has stopped now, but if you're only just joining us or didn't see the start, it was raining sideways. Now Olomanaya Otawata comes back under as they approach halfway, set after points, and Elijah Al-Hazim almost slices his way through, and perfect set after points if the kick can be correct here. Abu Hamid drives to the corner, Chase is coming through. How's the bounce look? It goes backwards and goes to Tapawai, but he can't find the pass back on the inside. And Jaden Tapawai very nearly comes up with a result from a wicked back bounce there by Abu Hamid, but the Wolves dodge a bullet there.
Danny Abu Hamid was laid out on the floor. He got absolutely smashed as he put the kick through. He was calling for the penalty back on the ground. Didn't get it. Referee's going to let that one slide, but Cabramatta again, they're looking very, very good in the first half.
And again, things are going to get tougher and tougher as we move further along, and not to take away from the Wolves. They do have 2 on the bench, as I said, but both year young, so obviously not looking to burn those boys out either. So pretty much close to a 13 on 13, but cries there for a penalty. But not the case with Chidiak as one of those young men on fire. Florian gets his second touch, wins a play the ball. And if that's not one of the best names you've ever heard, I'm not here. Now running wide on the edge, Siole Yongi, and he wins his side a penalty. And there's a good reason that this man played year young Harold Matthews and was also part of the New South Wales Triple C under-15s last season. On fire Florian, you'd have to think he's a human highlight reel with a name like that, and he's going to get his chance in the next minute or so to light it up. Now ball with Kutu as they're on halfway, and referee given the mark as Cookie Mafu engages here with a couple of forwards and spins his way out of contact. It's going to be a great battle, that one today, between him and these forward packs. But a lost ball in the ruck. And the referee blows that one away. And just as they found themselves into attacking field position, this defence and this forward pack continues to turn up for the Cabramatta 2 Blues. Mafu went in and argued his case. He tried to get to his feet too quickly. And with the wet ball, squirted out the side. And they are going to turn the ball back over to Cabramatta. And they needed something to go right for them, as they haven't had a lot of ball in the last 15 minutes or so. When you're missing the 1, 6 and 7 and 9 as they are, you've got to narrow your focus to your power game and your yardage, and they've certainly done that as Al-Hazim fends one, fends a second, and gets to the outside, tries to get past Fotheringham and does, but the defenders come. But Elijah Al-Hazim, awfully deceptive, long, lean and awkward as he picks up 30 plus. And now Helu from a 2 pass centres the attack as they go past the 40. And now Rhoda Wallace long across to Abu Hamid to Teapa, who's back off the right foot. Beats the first, but now in a dance with 2 defenders and keeps his feet as Rach does well to contain. And Fernandes shows on a double pump, then keeps, and the ball spills out trying to handle that one. I think he was looking to pass, but it's just slipped from his grip as they were moving inside the 20, and that is very unfortunate. Really important 3 minutes coming up here for Concord. They can't leak another try, and they'd love to get one of their own right in the shadows of half-time. Now Mafu off the back fence, goes straight through, and now comes up against Al-Hazim. Takes him at the legs, but Mafu lays the line here for a big set. Rach from dummy half, trying to keep things moving inside the 40, but Cookie Mafu just explodes his way through the middle. Puts them straight back into positive territory as El Khoury with a follow-up carry, which is a belter. Fights his way inside the 30. Long left side here, Chidiak Comes across to Iongi. And Cyril Iongi running a bit wider. Trying to make an impression on this one and play 5. Points or a repeat with 2 minutes to go. Kilby off the boot. Hit hard there and it bounces through, but the penalty coming. It looks like a touch judge's call. Not happy with a contact on the kicker. Thought for a moment they'd done enough to clean things up, but touch judge not happy with that hit.
Got to take their time here and make sure these 6 tackles count. Really strong start to the set from Mafu. Let's see if he gets involved again.
Here's Mafu again off the back fence and engaged there in heavy contact. And this back and forth, it can't get any better than this. And now centre field for Kepa. Inside the 10 on play 2. And now Rach off the deck, shows the dummy, gets low, tries to go through, and it looks like they've stopped him. Great defensive effort by Cabra. And now Kepa tries to double up with a slide in, and it's a knock on into contact. As he's tried to go in one motion there, clean through the play the ball. And Cabramatta turn up again with their defence.
Wet grass, wet football, just unable to hang on to it. He tried to pick it up and dive across all in the one motion and just lost it at the vital time. And Cabramatta, that is big sigh for them, because with that half-time break only a minute away, gives them a big chance to catch a lungful of air. And also, keeping in mind, no reserves, couple of guys down on their haunches, and fingers crossed that we finish this game 13 on 13.
And the draw later in the year will come out for Harold Matthews, but no doubt if you're watching right now, you're looking at a lot of players that will feature on both sides. Some of these players from the Concord Burwood Wolves already, like I said, in that Balmain system, played year young this year or in the development, and on the flip for Cabramatta as well. If the draw lines up, potentially a bit of crossover once that time of year rolls around in rep season. 15 seconds here, doing well to run the clock down as Abu Hamid pushes all in on half, and they kick. But they were awake to it, and now Yongi, can he come up with one play? Half-time's coming. All these players are in front of the football. Scoots himself down the short side, and he's cleaned up there. But Cabramatta, 13 men up against the Concord Burwood Wolves in a similar situation with some 15s on the bench. Engaged for the minor premiership here in the match of the round, and a cracking first half. Plenty of physicality between the big boys in tough conditions, but it's the Cabramatta 2 Blues 10-0. And with the advantage in this one, what do you think, Greg, needs to happen in the second half for the Wolves to get back in this one?
Well, the Wolves have got to go through the middle. Cookie Mafu has been their attacking weapon in the first half. Also, Levi Henderson's been great out on that right edge. They need to look to get him the ball more. But if they can just stay in the arm wrestle, this first try of the second half is going to be so important. If Cabra stretch out to a 16-point lead, it might be too much. That hill might be too much to climb. But if the Wolves can get that first try, close the margin to 4, have Cabramatta looking over their shoulder, I think it's going to be game on.
Well, 10-0 here. We'll see what happens in the second half with the minor premiership on the line in this under-16s Parramatta Junior Rugby League competition. Match of the round. High stakes, plenty to play for. We'll be back after a short break to see who is getting that vital week off. war of attrition continues here. Two teams short on troops, battered and bruised after a long season here in the under-16 ones. Parramatta Eels Junior Rugby League competition, but a minor premiership is on the line, as is a week off and a golden opportunity to book a place to a grand final with only one game in tow. Cabramatta took the advantage in the first half, 10-0, with some brilliant work from their middle forwards and the outside back contributing as well from a nice scrum play. But the Wolves with some work to do here, but plenty of strike power. This will be an absolute belter of a half as we welcome back Greg Hayes.
Yeah, really looking forward to this second 30 minutes. It's been a really tough opening 30. A little bit of handling issues when the rain was falling, but that seems to have gone away, and the boys are hanging on to the football well.
And Winston Tahi met with an absolute brick wall himself here. And the Wolves, with a bit of chat off that contact, fired up for the second half. Who's going to be our minor premier? We'll find out in 30 minutes' time. There's a two-pass back to the middle now. And Cabra with first possession, trying to fight their way to centre field. And Kingston, Marchong. Football getting caught up in that tackle. And now Helu on the edge, met strongly as he makes it to the 40. Slammed down by Darby Fotheringham. And now Al Hazim tries to slice his way through, and awkwardly again scythes his way upfield. He's a handful. He's Elijah Al Hazim in play 5. Cross halfway, Abu Hamid with a good one. Depth finds its mark, and Livy Mayer on this one bounces back to centre field, spins, and brought to ground in a very good first set.
Exactly what the Cabramatta coach would have wanted. Got the ball down the field, some really good strong runs. Al Hazim, he is an absolute live wire, and then a good strong kick, good chase as well.
And Levi Henderson continues to trade blows with FRT. And now El Khoury driven into the turf. Started off a very good carry, but Winston Tahi said hop in the wheelbarrow as Rach sells a couple of dummies and picks up 10 plus, near halfway now. Tries to push his way through the ruck as Chidiak long here and off the boot of Jay Kilby. And down the back now, Al Hazim shows, comes back centre field and now jumps to the short side, and a bit of a mugging going on as he's just short of the 20. Now short side, trying to get upfield in good metres as they try to escort to the sideline, and very nearly the defence there able to maintain inbounds as Abu Hamid with the football drilled again, and the physicality certainly Rach again. Bit of width for Jaden Kepper. Finds his front and loses the football, and the middle forwards come up again. Ma Chong and company lay the wood, and another error just as they cross halfway, which at the moment dead set has a force field on it for the Wolves.
Been praising the big fellas. Rayner Wallace getting in there and doing a lot of defensive work as well, and really helping out his big guys. But that was a good shot, turning the ball over, and a chance now for Cabramatta to try and extend this 10-point lead.
Brennan Rhoda Wallace usually shares that role with Abu Hamid, but with Tamati and Alea Tower missing from their halves, Abu Hamid has been doing a great job with Fanene, who's a very versatile player in the halves. And Rhoda Wallace certainly doesn't shirk the task, despite his size, and very crafty. And he's back to work here now after FRT starts us off. And then Helu, tight to the ruck, picks up 10 and engages 3. For the play the ball down here with Ma Chong, who's been great tonight as well. Big contribution. Usually off the interchange, but enjoying these minutes as Rhoda Wallace comes right, and Teapa double pump for Tahi. Almost gets through the front door, but legs late. Mafu. Now ball across. Skip there for Teapa again. Never ever stops. The legs keep on moving, but play 5 points or a repeat. Can they cash? Abu Hamid lobs one out here for the contest. Up for the football. Tapawai almost comes down with it. Referee's called play on. Thought we might have had a knock-on call, but is that play 5? Yes, it is. No 6 again call, but hold on a minute. Touchy's coming in, so we await the call.
Thought it might have been an offside play, but they've ruled that there was no touch from Cabramatta initially. So it's just going to be a turnover.
Thought might have had something more cooking there, but not the case. And they hold on, and wait a minute. After being buried on their own goal line, that's a great set starting carry there. Trying to get things moving for his team. Libby Mayer. And now Mafu skips across for Kutu. And the defence is there for him. Akawola gets caught up in the ruck, and Mafu from dummy half drives his way forward. Multiple bodies there to meet him. Mafu doing his job and wins his side a penalty, and in great field position. They're going to break the curse of crossing halfway, which is where multiple times they've met resistance, and with this penalty kicked themselves straight down to a fantastic opportunity for good ball.
Mafu on that left-hand side, he's just giving them options. That time looking to pass, but happy to take the ball through the middle as well. Very good player.
That man again takes it from the tap, skips to survey his options before hitting the go button. The battle between these middles today again continues to be an absolute cracker. Sioele Yongi almost goes through the front door, leaves 1 and drags 2 with him. They try to fight their way back in, but those legs just keep moving, and he's only a metre out now. And to play the ball here for Rach. Long across it comes to Chidiak, tucks it away and tries to push through the front door. Brought down. Referee says he's not near goal. Rach right there. Ball out to his side. Fotheringham on the one-arm grab. Almost goes, and he gets there. Darby Fotheringham on the angle. Awkward grab as he tucks it in the right arm, and on that drift, fights his way in. Somehow he caught that and held on. I've got no idea how. Looked like it was about to pop out, but big play by the half and a massive carry to get things moving at the start there by Sioele Iongi.
They just tried to go through the middle, and what that did was create some room on the outside, and that's why Darby was able to find some room, and once he sliced through, was able to hang on to the ball, get the ball down over the line, and cut this margin back to 6 with a kick to come. Big points, very important points for Concord, and there's still plenty of time left in this game.
The carry prior by Chidiak almost sold the dummy himself and went, but Sioele Iongi just felt like that was never going to stop. A little bit like the Juggernaut from X-Men. The legs just kept moving and the walls kept coming down. But Fotheringham with the 4-pointer, and now a very important kick. 10-4, the right footer. Usually we see him and Rapina Dunn, the halves, sort of rotate depending on what side of the field they're on, sharing the kicking duties. But Fotheringham here, 10 in from touch for the right footer to bring this within 4. Plenty of time left, 18 and a half to go. Off the boot, it looks good. It's coming across the face and it slides inside the left upright. And 10-6, Cabramatta lead, but the Wolves, they draw blood here, and that's a try brought to you by Omnia Business Solutions. For all your accounting, bookkeeping, consulting, and payroll needs, look no further.
Well, very important 3-4 minutes coming up. Can the momentum be turned by Cabramatta? They need to come up with something in this defensive set, because it looks as though the Concord Wolves are really on the front foot and about to put their foot down and try and grab another 4 points. It's starting to look like it's going to be coming right down to the wire.
Smartly so, Cabramatta take their time to get back to halfway. We tick under the 18-minute mark here, close to halfway through the second half. Want a premiership fight on here. As Fotheringham lays this off to Kepper. Back over the 20. That's a great set start near the 30 now. Great field position. Seems a little bit slow as Teapa might have been caught up there. And maybe that arm, worse for wear, 3 or 4 bodies in at times. Things get twisted, but trainer here just running a check, and that would be a massive blow if he wasn't able to continue.
Big fella's trying to push the trainer away. He's saying he's right to go, which is a good sign for Cabramatta.
Trying to shake off that hand, so whether it was just a stinger, we hope that's the case. But Kepper, good kick-off carry from him. And now ball across with Chidiac. The greeting party there as he tries to sell a dummy, but Winston Tahi says, here's my right shoulder. And now Kepper engages with Helu, and Helu tries to fold him backwards. Short of the 40, left side, Chidiac to Iongi. And again, those legs get pumping. And just short of the halfway now from a good carry. Rach, open side. Kilby kicks back across. And not the greatest of distance, but backwards from Al Hazim, luckily. The bodies are there for him now, and they try to drag him backwards, but somehow he manages to pick up 5 under duress.
Cabramatta back's got to get involved here, got to help their forward pack out.
On that note, FRT spins his way forward for 10 plus, and that's a good carry. Now Abu Hamid back to the position of dummy half, almost sells it. A hell of a threat. He's the top try scorer for this team, a lot of those coming from dummy half. There's now Rhoda Wallace, goes to Seth Surveyor, and forget the size, those legs keep pumping. Just short of halfway, that's a great carry by Seth Surveyor. Now Jaira Fanene to Tahi, who only knows one way, and it's the right way, and play 5 now to the 40. Chance for an attacking kick. And Fanene Tapuai, who's well offside, and then a slip, and on the back return here, trying to go. Livy Mayer beats a couple, and the legs were almost there before his legs are taken from under him in a sweeping motion. Up to the 40, that's a great kick return. And now Kutu breaks his way free from the first. In 10 or 15 metres, he's brought down now. And now off the back fence is Mafu, and the bodies are there for him in a set that's building very nicely. The Wolves train starting to build momentum. Fotheringham plays to El Khoury. Grassed at the 30. Really trying to turn the screws and ramp things up here as Chidiac goes across to Iongi. Short side, they've got numbers, but he tries to engage. Still got numbers and looking for a play the ball as the bodies retreat, and Rach goes there now. Kilby looks, 4v2, long across and the tap on. And no result, and well defended there by Cabramatta, but that was there for the taking. And that one goes by the wayside.
They're really coming with fast legs now. Rhoda Wallace, Abu Hamid, they've got to get in and control this, really slow the game down, bring the momentum back towards Cabramatta. They're just a chance here with a couple of players stretching out cramps. Chance here for Cabramatta to get a big lungful of air. And time, well, we're now in under 14 minutes, so chance here for Cabramatta to work the ball out.
We've got a stoppage here at the moment. It looks like Mafu may be the one who's affected. He was trying to stretch out those calves. Maybe there's something else underlying, we don't know. But a bit of a break for both sides here. As I said, I know they've got a couple on the bench, but borrowing some under 15s, the Wolves. So in a similar situation, both only got 13 of their actual team. Right. break, I think, good for both sides. And can the Wolves continue to put the pressure on? They certainly can. Big defence to start this one off. And now back across centre field. Trying to get themselves out of their own end here, Cabra. And play the ball there. It's a pretty decent one as Al Hazim almost slices his way through again. So elusive, so dangerous. And now off the back of that, Abu Hamid. Right foot followed by a left and up to halfway now. Good return set coming, but a limping player in the backfield is a worry as Akawola, who's had 2 great touches in this one, fights his way up for play 5 on the 40. Abu Hamid gets the kick for Tapuai, who's onside this time and in the contest. Tries to put the player off, but a late hit here. And Abu Hamid, who's been treated like an absolute pinata today, back to his feet, and his team gets a critical penalty inside the 20.
What do you do? Do you have a shot? Stretch it to 6, take some time off the clock, or in the right part of the ground to take a tap and try and stretch the lead even further? I think that's what they're going to do.
The perspective of a couple of limping players, the clock and the time, it gets you to a draw, but then that means you've got to go extra. But I don't know. I think here they're doing the right thing. These opportunities are few and far between. If you can drop the hammer here and get a 2-score lead, it's big as Rhoda Wallace double pumps. Keeps the football in the end. Now at dummy half, Winston Tahi. Not bad service. And then Fanene out the back of shape to Al Hazim, who tries to trip up the outside man. And the ball comes free and sideways. And then pushed into touch anyway. It's well cleaned up there. And now we have that question. Was it the 2 points to get it to 6 and try and apply that pressure? Or was that the right decision?
Well, I could come back to haunt them. El Hazim, he tried to squeeze the pass out. He was the one who was down in back play only 80 seconds ago. So he's out there still trying to shake off something. And fingers crossed he's okay and can finish this game out.
There's a good reason why we said this week off is so important, as Kepper tries to get things moving. But the greeting party pushes him sideways, so only a couple of metres forward progress. Now trying to shift away from where it's thick. They go to Henderson, who finds the outside here. And then the foot race for Richmond. But taken by Abu Hamid in cover. Henderson's trying to fight for a play the ball on the 30, and he loses that one in the ruck, trying to stand up. And Tapuai fired up there. Makes it known, but great cover effort after Henderson thought he'd crack the safe open for some space.
Abu Hamid, he's having a wow of a game. They're really knocking him around when he's putting his kicks over the top, but really smart in defence there. Got involved, make sure that there was no more metres to be made, and then was part of the incident in the play the ball where it's been turned over. So chance now. They've just got to take their time, deep breath, and another try here, and that might be enough for them.
And apologies, that wasn't Andre Richmond. It's young Finn in the 99 jersey who's come on. Another one of the 15s playing up today and done well to get himself to ground. But tough conditions, unfortunately, loses the football as Henderson and Eparty greet each other again. Double-digit collisions between those two today easily. As Tapuai now into dummy half. Back into Abu Hamid for Helu. Just lays a line here. Short side or long right. Rhoda Wallace goes to the long right. And Teapa props off the right foot and tries to shake his way forward. And the ball comes free and another drop ball. As things continue to get a bit messy with fatigue and these tough conditions, and we tick under the 10-minute mark.
A couple of chances for Cabramatta, and they've come up with no points.
Now Yongi off the back of that, tries to get his team moving, leaves the defender behind, short side, Ray Kilby, goes across to Kutu, sells the dummy and almost goes through the front door. But inside cover defence, it's a good tackle there made, and now 2 pass back for Mafu. And Mafu loses the football. Exchanging errors here, back and forth. Who's going to be able to land the death blow, or is it going to stay as is? But fatigue's certainly becoming a factor now as we tick down in to the single minutes. 9 to go here.
They're coming, the Wolves. You can feel them building to something. They're starting to go down their edges. They're trying to create extra numbers and create some space for their edge players. But at the moment, Cabramatta, they're surviving. They're doing enough to make sure they get back and make those tackles.
Now scrum Their choice is to go centre field. See if they go with a 3-3 split or try to have some late movement. Usually, when we've seen Mehmet Eper, sometimes they like to pop out and try and create a number late. Al Hazim moves out here, and it looks like they're going to go the 3-3 as Rhoda Wallace goes to Fanene. Comes across to Akawala, who tries to get the outside for Surveyor and does for a moment. Negotiates the touchline and comes back in field, and that's a good first play to get all the way up to the 40. And now 2 pass. Fanene to Ma Chong, and he's monstered there. Dragged backwards by Kepa. El Khoury. Now ball across. And the legs pumping there for Michael Helu. And 3 there, it threatens to get ugly, and it does so, and there's a penalty. And this time, I don't know about the 2 points because of the distance, but certainly a good opportunity to take stock, have a breath, and really try to find the killer blow here.
Helu, he's been very good for Cabramatta. A couple of really strong hit-ups, and doesn't shirk the task, puts his hand up, especially when they need those hard yards. And looks as though they are going to have a shot for 2. It's a fair kick. They're 32 metres out, but take a minute off the clock, try and stretch this lead to 6, and make the Wolves kick a conversion if they're able to get a late try.
And you never know if you're going to get another penalty, but in the context of what we witnessed before, this would have been the opportunity to take a 2-score lead. But we'll say one thing, he's not the top point scorer without reason, and he does have a decent boot, Danny Abu Hamid, but sometimes these ones, when you go outside the 20, as direct as they seem, he's not too far off from the uprights. Sometimes with that extra power, you might not hit it in the direction you quite want, but massive moment in this game. Big breather for both sides, but you can see that fatigue creeping in the last 5 minutes. But Danny Abu Hamid from hooker to halfback for his team, and the minor premiership on the line. The left footer. It's about 32 metres out just to the right of the uprights. Long-legged number 9. Can he make it a 6-point lead and force the Wolves into a position where they have to win this game, because a draw will still see them win the minor premiership. And off the boot, it looks pretty good, and it is good! And drives that one right through the uprights, does Danny Abu Hamid. 12-6 with 6 to go. Leaves the Wolves in a position where nothing else but 2 scores will see them get the minor premiership. So a lot of work to do, and I think a short kickoff coming here, but for Cabra, that puts the pressure straight back on the opposition.
Players get around Danny. Big game. He's been involved in absolutely everything, and such a crucial kick. Ice in his veins, just lined that one up and nailed it.
Now the kick-off and the set ensuing. They don't go short, they drive deep. And now coming back is Tahi. Tahi with that work, like I said, a draw with Cabramatta being 1 point ahead on the ladder. Splitting the points would still see them win the minor premiership here today. So for the Wolves, it's got to be all in for this last 5. As Abu Hamid follows up the work of his teammates. Now in a position, bit of a wobble there. Now Tayapa has been fantastic today. Has another carry, and there's 3 there trying to bring him down as he backs his way to the 50 almost. Now Al Hazim, watch out for him, tries to slide. Play 5, it feels like. Multiple times we've called it from this 40-metre mark. Back to Abu Hamid. This time, not treated like a pinata, but good depth, good height, and the bounce there. Pressure coming. Livy Mayer cuts across and finds his way out. Now he's heading upfield. Can he get free? But the cover tackle, awfully physical, and a big penalty. Awkward position to kick from, but Livy Mayer thought he was breaking free for a moment.
Cabramatta did everything right. Abu Hamid put the kick up. Good kick, good chase, but then they've just given away a penalty. Not too far from the sideline, so it shouldn't hurt them too much.
That one, like you said, with that narrow channel makes the kick hard, but well negotiated, and they're going to start from the 40. Like I said, a draw is not good enough. Cabramatta will hold on if that's the case, so that 2 points in turn a lot more logical now when you think about it. As Cookie Mafu tries to rumble his way through and almost finds clean air. 20 metres on his first carry. Leaves Fanane out of the way as Kutu tries to use him as a shield, and now to the 30. 3.5 to go. Can they pull it off? Pass back centre field for Chidiac. Drops the bumper bars. 3 on. Flipped over in the end like a bar table. But on his back, that one's a bit of a slower play the ball. Roach, long right for Fotheringham. Gives that one short. And El Khoury just pressure pass into Henderson. And a turnover in great field position, and an opportunity goes begging there.
Who was in the tackle? It was Abu Hamid. He was all part of it. He's making sure that his team gets across the line tonight. Really starting to take some petrol out of the tank, and players suffering with cramp, which you can understand. That plenty of water has fallen on the field, and ground quite soft. But as the time now ticks under 3 minutes, you'd think that Cabramatta have just about done enough to hang on to this minor premiership.
A bit of concern here as we have a stoppage, couple cramping up again on the Wolves side of things, but this time looks like Michael Helu might have been caught up in that collision a bit awkwardly. Looks like a lower leg problem, but exactly 3 minutes on the clock here at 12-6. This score or a draw, as I said, will be enough to take home the minor premiership and that vital week off in terms of players to return. Obviously, they'd hope the ones that were unable to play today, and Smith, Jessup, Motaliki and Veve Fretton would be available to at least give them a bench, but unlikely that we'll see the halves again this season in Tamati and Alea Tower. And then Epe also a critical part. Hopefully we see him again. But this stop, good for both teams as we're about to head into the championship. Minutes 3 to go here at Kellyville Park for our under-16s Magic Round. Fantastic day with some awkward weather, but it's been all around a good time.
Great time. Need Rhoda Wallace. We need Abu Hamid to get involved and slow this last 3 minutes down for Cabramatta.
FRT takes the tough carry after everyone's had a break and the energy sort of lifts. Negotiates through defenders. And now Helu back up on his feet now. Gets rocked after beating the first contact. Tough as nails, he's back to his feet, and the big game again from him. It's Teapa, another one, pops an offload to Abu Hamid, tries to pick a gap. A bit of high contact in the collision there, and another stoppage and great opportunity just to run things a little bit here as Abu Hamid cops an accidental high shot.
Wipes another 30 seconds off the clock, and once they take up the 6 tackles, there's only going to be 60 seconds left. They've done a great job. They got out, they got in front. Momentum swung in the second half, but Cabramatta have done a really good job to arrest it back late in the second.
The other point to make before this one, with forfeit and injuries and everything else that's going on, the Wolves are yet to taste defeat this season out of the games that they have played, even without troops. 9 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. This is potentially their first and only loss of the season. And Cabramatta, the team fighting them for the minor premiership and premiership in general, the one to give it to them. Minute 30 to go. Can they hang on? Rhoda Wallace comes to Marchong. Good contribution today with the extra minutes. Abu Hamid's had enough of the headgear. It's gone. Sometimes I think there's a little bit of magic in that white headgear. Across now to a number that's almost unrecognisable, but I know the player because of the movement. It's Al Hazim, who's had an absolute mud bath. Slower play the ball. Rhoda Wallace across for Abu Hamid, who lays short to Helu. And maybe setting up for a field goal potentially here. Centre field now, Teapa lays for Tahi. You'd think you might want to go outside the 10, but maybe they're thinking points, and that's the way Abu Hamid tries to push one through. Pops back there, 6 more, and they're going to finish with the football. 45 seconds. They think about the field goal, but there's no point really to hand over possession here. And the one-on-one attempt there, the ball's pulled out, and we might have another problem. Siole Yongi has got the ball, but it might be Helu who's down again. Players very animated here on both sides. Trainer asking the players to clear away. A stoppage here with 27 seconds remaining. Iongi going to law school here, trying to negotiate with the touch judge.
Helu looks like they're just going to stretch out his hammies again and his calf. He might be feeling the effects of playing a full 60 minutes. He's had a very good game, really got his side going forward, and it's unfortunate he's coughed up possession in the shadow of full time, but it's not going to affect his team. They're only going to have to make 3 or 4 tackles and it'll be game. Have they got a Hail Mary in them, the Wolves? Not that it can get them the minor premiership, but it can keep that unbeaten record intact if they're able to get away here with a draw.
Well, like you said, able to clash during the year due to the game. He missed out. We had a couple of wet weather games and we've had some forfeits with injuries, but coming head-to-head in the first of 2 very important games. Obviously this one for the minor premiership, but if this is the matchup we're going to get, I'd have no problem with this being the grand final. But Hills, All Saints, Toongabbie Tigers, and also the Hills Bulls, the Greystanes Devils, they're all going to have something to say about that as finals kick off next week. But Michael Helu succumbing to hopefully just cramp and a penalty for the strip, and 20 seconds is going to see them in a chance to run the clock down, and I'm surprised they didn't take the 2, but Tahi takes the big shot in 10 seconds. We might get one more play the ball opportunity. Rhoda Wallace comes across here, and a 1 out, multiple bodies in, and there it is. Kingston Marchong, one of the big contributors here today, finishes with a football, and 2 outstanding rugby league sides. And hopefully we'll meet again somewhere along the line, but 1 and 2, they shuffled throughout the season with the Hills Bulls between those top 3 positions, and today with it all to play, no one on the bench for both sides, a couple of 15s having to play up, and a critical minor premiership on the line for a week off, and it looks like in this case here, a very, very important week off. The Cabramatta 2 Blues, your minor premiers in the 16 ones, with a 12-6 win over the Wolves.
You just saw how much it meant to Cabramatta. There's a lot of backslapping, a lot of celebrating after the full-time siren went. Important win for them and could set them up for what will be a pretty important final series. They get the week off. They only need to win 1 game to get through to the grand final. And as long, I guess the only little bit of a concern coming out of that game would be the condition of Helu after he had to leave the field with 30 seconds to go. Fingers crossed it is just cramp and he'll be right to go in a fortnight.
And Noah Yongi didn't finish the game, the fullback for the Wolves, who's a fantastic player. Not sure what happened there, but whole second half unable to participate there. So health, like I said, was a big question for both sides, but Cabramatta very much appreciative, I'm sure, of that week off, and congratulations to both coaches, Joshua Morgan and also Matt Rapina. They've been fantastic to deal with, and no surprise, they're 2 teams in the battle for this minor premiership, but in the end, it is Cabramatta who prevail here. The Wolves will line up next week up against the Hills Bulls, who they've come up in 2 belting matchups so far this year, and in the elimination final, the 4v5 will have a replay of the Tigers and Devils from today. But there it is, your minor premiers, Cabramatta with a week off, and the 16s ones finals start next week. Match of the round, tune in for that one. Obviously the girls as well, 14s, 16s and 18s silver and gold competitions with Greg. It's been part of the call today, mate. It's been a pleasure to share these 2 games with you. Have a fantastic weekend. Thank you again to Spot On Recording, Brendan, always helping us out here. And this has been a fantastic day here for Magic Round. Greg, final word to you, my friend.
What a fantastic 2 games we saw. Cracking game of both games, cracking games of rugby league. And you can see that the Parramatta Junior Rugby League's in a really good spot with their under-16 age group. The boys, some great talent in both forwards and backs. And I think we're going to have a pretty exciting finals series, especially when you look. There's only 6 points between these 2 sides. There's a big chance we're going to see them play at least once more, maybe twice more in the final series.
Well, stick with us across the finals. Greg Hayes, our fantastic caller, the female match of the round. Like I said, 14, 16s, 18 silver and gold competitions generally at 2 p.m. Maybe a little bit different across the finals, but keep tuned in for that. And I've been Lewis Shepherd, 5 p.m. for our under-16s men's Parramatta Eels Junior Rugby League competition. Finals start next week. How good for now? Enjoy your weekend and stay safe.